The sun is the source of most of our energy here on Earth. Energy from the sun is used to produce electricity using photovoltaics and solar thermal plants. That same energy is also used for heating using solar domestic hot water systems, hydronic heating, solar air heating, and solar cooking, just to name a few. This video will talk about how the sun produces that energy. The sun produces energy using a process called fusion. Let's start our explanation of fusion with the atom.
Conduction, convection, and radiation. Conductive heat transfer is what happens in this picture. When heat is transferred along the handle of the pot, this heat is transferred between atoms in contact with each other. In a solid, molecules transfer vibrational energy physically to their bonded neighbors. Imagine linking arms with everyone in the class, so you're trapped in a solid form, and then try to transfer energy just by bouncing in place. Conduction also happens in liquids and gases. In these cases, heat or kinetic energy is transferred during collisions. Convective heat transfer is a much more efficient method of heat transfer for gases and liquids. During convection, millions of molecules of gas or liquid transport heat quickly by diffusion or currents. For example, in this image you can see that at the bottom of the pot, heat is conducted by the hot surface to the water at that hot surface. That heat makes that water expand and become less dense. That water then rises to the top of the pot, displacing the colder, denser water at the surface, which then sinks to the bottom and is heated by the conductive pot. Through this process, the heat is rapidly convected through the entire fluid in a continuous cycle. During radiation heat transfer, electromagnetic waves are released from a hot source and spread outwards through space in all directions. When those waves collide with other objects, they excite the molecules in those objects and raise their temperature. Heat is radiated from all objects with a temperature, that is, from all objects whose molecules have any internal kinetic energy at all.
An insulator is something that isolates or protects something else, or something that prevents electricity, heat, or sound from escaping.
A continual exchange of long-wave radiation takes place between the surface of the Earth and the atmosphere above it. The long-wave radiation contained in this exchange causes the warming effect known as the greenhouse effect. This phenomena is known as the greenhouse effect because, like the glass in a greenhouse, the atmosphere traps some of the energy beneath it. The greenhouse effect produces a warmer climate on Earth than would be possible without an atmosphere.
Well, heat can be either reflected or absorbed, just like light.
I don't get it.
I'd better show a demo. Fred, could you turn on the laboratory sun lamp, please?
Okay.
Hey, the temperature's going up.
Now, do you know why?
Because the sun lamp is very hot.
Well, that's right. But look, the thermometer with the black shirt is heating up faster.
So that explains why Mr. Richmond was very hot and felt faint.
That's right.
Just because of the shirt color?
That's correct. The black absorbed a lot of the heat while the white reflected it. Do you know why a white shirt like this looks white to us?
Because it's white?
No.
How could I have missed that one?
It looks white because it is made in such a way as to reflect light and heat. The white color you see is actually reflected light and heat coming off the cloth.
But the black cloth of this shirt is not reflecting any light or heat, is it?
No ma'am, it isn't. It's sucking the heat and light in and trapping it, getting hotter and hotter.
Thank you, Professor Parsons. Son?
Yes, indeed. First, let's talk about the heat, since that's really what this case is all about. Now, believe it or not, heat is a form of light.
What?
Here, Mr. Savage, take this flashlight and shine it at this mirror.
I can't see.
And why not?
Because the light is reflecting back into my eyes.
That's right. Now, the important word here is reflecting. Because now, Mr. Savage, I want you to shine the light at this old piece of wood. Okay, good. Now what's happening?
I'm still having trouble seeing.
Very good, Mr. Savage. So where does the light go?
Some of it gets absorbed in the wood.
Absorbed into the wood?
That's right. The light gets absorbed right into the wood.
You mean like a sponge?
Well, yeah, I guess you could say that.
But what does this have to do with the case?
That's a good question, Doug. What does Professor Parsons' experiment have to do with the case? While there's a break, let's review what's happening in the trial. During the final rounds of the Know-It-All contest, Mr. Richmond suddenly felt very hot and was unable to answer the winning question, so he lost the contest.